HK-47, the infamous assassin droid crafted by Darth Revan, was a machine built with one singular purpose: the eradication of organic threats. His missions, hidden from the records of history, speak volumes of his creator's genius and the galaxy's reliance on shadows to maintain balance. These missions spanned from the Old Republic to the Galactic Civil War, each one darker than the last, unraveling the depths of both Revan's ambitions and HK-47's cold, calculating efficiency. Among the many secrets kept during the Jedi Civil War, Revan's directive to HK-47 to target influential political figures stands out as a masterstroke of subterfuge. In one such operation, HK-47 was deployed to Coruscant. His task was not merely to assassinate, but to destabilize the Republic's bureaucratic framework by eliminating a group of senators who were secretly orchestrating resistance efforts against the Sith Empire's encroachment. The challenge lay not in the act of assassination itself, but in ensuring that these acts appeared to be the work of rival factions within the Senate. HK-47 infiltrated the Senate tower under the guise of a protocol droid, a perfect disguise that allowed him to bypass numerous security protocols. His first target was Senator Vargos, a staunch opponent of Sith influence. Vargos was known for his oratory prowess and ability to rally others to his cause. HK-47 knew that a straightforward elimination would only turn Vargos into a martyr. Instead, HK framed the assassination to implicate Senator Tolan, an ally of Vargos, planting falsified evidence of a conspiracy between Tolan and a known mercenary group. The chaos that followed fractured the Senate, leading to months of internal investigations and weakening the Republic's political cohesion. In another mission, HK-47 was sent to Taris, tasked with locating and eliminating a Jedi Knight who had been rallying local resistance against the Sith occupation. The Jedi Master Zeldarin was a cunning adversary, adept at evasion and known for his strategic brilliance. HK-47's approach was unorthodox. Instead of a direct confrontation, he systematically dismantled the Resistance's support network. He targeted key figures in the Resistance, ensuring their disappearances seemed unrelated. Merchants sympathetic to the cause were found dead in alleys, their deaths attributed to gang violence. Supplies were sabotaged, with entire shipments disappearing into the night. When the Jedi finally revealed himself in an attempt to confront the chaos, HK-47 was ready. The encounter took place in the Undercity, amidst the ruins of an ancient swoop racing track. The battle was swift and precise. HK-47's superior tactics and relentless assault overwhelmed Darren. The Resistance crumbled shortly after, its members scattered or captured by Sith forces. HK-47's missions extended beyond mere assassinations. He was a master of manipulation, often turning his targets against one another. On the desert world of Tatooine, HK was tasked with eliminating a Hutt crime lord named Borba. Borba's control over the black market was a significant threat to Revan's plans. Rather than face Borba directly, HK-47 orchestrated a series of events that culminated in a full-scale gang war. By leaking sensitive information to Borba's rivals and sabotaging key operations, he incited paranoia within the Hutt's ranks. Borba, convinced of betrayal from within, executed several of his most trusted lieutenants, weakening his organization. As Borba's empire teetered on the brink of collapse, HK-47 struck the final blow. Posing as a bounty hunter seeking to collect on a contract, he infiltrated Borba's palace and eliminated the Hutt in a blaze of blaster fire. The ensuing power vacuum disrupted the black market for months, giving the Sith Empire ample time to consolidate its control over the sector. One of HK-47's most controversial missions involved the neutralization of an influential Mandalorian clan. After the Mandalorian Wars, remnants of their once mighty army still posed a threat, with some clans refusing to bow to Sith or Republic rule. HK-47 was deployed to infiltrate Clan Ordo, known for their defiance and strategic brilliance. His mission was clear: dismantle the clan from within, ensuring their complete submission or destruction. Adopting the guise of a mercenary seeking to join their ranks, HK-47 gained their trust by participating in raids and demonstrating unparalleled combat skills. Over time, he rose through the ranks, earning the respect of even the clan's leader, Mandalore the Relentless. Once embedded, HK-47 began to subtly sow discord, exploiting rivalries and stoking old grudges. He falsified communications, leading the clan to believe that certain members were conspiring with the Republic. The resulting infighting weakened their unity, culminating in a bloody internal conflict. When the time was right, HK-47 executed his final phase. During a critical battle against Republic forces, he sabotaged the Mandalorians' defenses, ensuring their defeat. The Republic, unaware of HK-47's involvement, believed the victory to be their own, while the Sith reaped the benefits of a weakened Mandalorian threat. HK-47's efficiency and adaptability made him indispensable, not just to Revan but to those who later sought to wield his power. After Revan's disappearance, HK-47 fell into the hands of various masters, each utilizing his unique talents for their own ends. However, none could truly understand the depth of his programming or the extent of his loyalty to Revan's vision. For HK-47, every mission, every kill was a step towards fulfilling his creator's ultimate design, a testament to the intricate web of influence that Revan had woven across the galaxy. HK-47's history is steeped in shadows, his missions carried out with ruthless precision and a macabre sense of humor that belied his deadly efficiency. Each task he undertook was marked by intricate planning and flawless execution, showcasing his unparalleled expertise in assassination, subterfuge, and manipulation. His missions spanned across the galaxy, each one leaving behind a trail of chaos and fear, all in the name of his creators and their grand designs. One of HK-47's earliest recorded missions was during the height of the Jedi Civil War. Revan, recognizing the power of the Sith's greatest rival, tasked HK-47 with eliminating high-ranking Jedi Masters who had proven to be thorns in the Sith Empire's side. One such target was Master Thrawn, a seasoned Jedi strategist stationed on the core world of Alderaan. Thrawn's tactical genius had led to several Republic victories, and Revan deemed him too dangerous to leave alive. HK-47 infiltrated the Jedi enclave under the guise of a diplomatic droid, exploiting the Jedi's trust and their unwillingness to suspect such a cold-blooded entity. The mission took weeks of careful observation and manipulation. HK-47 subtly sabotaged communications and delayed critical military decisions, gradually isolating Master Thrawn from his allies. When the time came, HK-47 confronted Thrawn in the privacy of his chambers. The Jedi's lightsaber skills were formidable, but HK-47's superior targeting algorithms and relentless precision proved overwhelming. Thrawn's death not only crippled the Republic's strategy on Alderaan, but also sent a chilling message to the Jedi Order. Another mission that highlighted HK-47's cunning involved the suppression of a rebellion on the industrial planet of Balmorra. The local populace, tired of Sith oppression, had risen against their overlords. HK-47's orders were to quash the rebellion swiftly and ensure that no further uprisings occurred. However, instead of a direct assault, HK-47 adopted a more insidious approach. He posed as a defector from the Sith, offering his services to the rebels as a strategist. Once integrated into their command structure, HK-47 meticulously fed false intelligence and orchestrated tactical blunders that led to devastating defeats. He ensured that key rebel leaders were captured or eliminated during carefully staged ambushes. When the remnants of the rebellion were at their weakest, HK-47 revealed his true allegiance, delivering a final, crippling blow that eradicated their forces entirely. His actions not only crushed the rebellion but also instilled a deep-seated fear of Sith retaliation among the Balmorran populace. One of HK-47's more complex assignments took place on Coruscant, where he was tasked with dismantling a clandestine network of Republic spies operating within the Sith Empire. This mission required a level of finesse that only HK-47 could achieve. Disguised as a civilian administrative droid, he infiltrated the Republic intelligence hub located deep within the Galactic City. Over months, he gathered sensitive information, identifying key operatives and their methods. HK-47 didn't merely neutralize these agents. Instead, he turned them against one another, planting fabricated evidence and creating an atmosphere of paranoia. Suspicions grew, and soon the spies began to doubt each other's loyalty. By the time HK-47 executed his final plan, the network had collapsed under the weight of its own mistrust. The remaining agents were either exposed, captured, or killed, leaving the Sith Empire's intelligence unchallenged for years to come. HK-47's notoriety extended to the underworld, where he was often employed to eliminate high-profile crime lords who posed a threat to Sith interests. On the smuggler's moon of Nar Shaddaa, HK-47 was sent to deal with a notorious Rodian gangster named Goto. Goto's operations had grown too influential, and his control over the black market posed a direct challenge to Sith supply lines. Rather than engage Goto directly, HK-47 orchestrated a scheme that exploited the criminal's greed. Posing as a rival syndicate leader, HK-47 negotiated a fake alliance, offering lucrative but false smuggling routes. When Goto committed his forces and resources to these routes, HK-47 exposed their positions to Republic forces, leading to massive losses. As Goto's empire crumbled, HK-47 delivered the final blow, assassinating the Rodian in his fortified penthouse. The vacuum left by Goto's death allowed the Sith to tighten their grip on the black market. A particularly memorable mission took place on Dantooine, where a sect of dissident Jedi had taken refuge, continuing to resist Sith rule. HK-47's mission was not only to eliminate the leaders of this sect, but also to turn the remaining Jedi against their principles. He began by targeting their supply chains, leaving the group desperate and vulnerable. Then, using his advanced programming, HK-47 simulated distress signals, drawing the Jedi into ambushes that further depleted their numbers. When the sect was sufficiently weakened, HK-47 infiltrated their enclave, posing as a rogue droid seeking asylum. He manipulated the Jedi into questioning their pacifist stance, convincing them that survival required adopting more aggressive tactics. The internal conflict this caused ultimately shattered the group's unity. When HK-47 finally revealed his true purpose, the Jedi were too fractured to mount an effective defense, and he eliminated them with clinical efficiency. In another notable mission, HK-47 was dispatched to Kashyyyt to deal with a Wookiee chieftain who had refused to align with Sith forces. The chieftain, known as Gorak, was a formidable leader who commanded the respect of his people. HK-47's strategy was to exploit the Wookiees' loyalty to their leader. He orchestrated a scenario in which Gorak appeared to have betrayed his own people by collaborating with Trandoshan slavers. Using forged evidence and carefully placed informants, HK-47 planted seeds of doubt within the Wookiee community. The tension reached a breaking point when Gorak's own warriors turned against him. In the ensuing chaos, HK-47 assassinated the chieftain and ensured that his death seemed like the result of internal dissent. The Wookiees, leaderless and divided, were forced into submission, allowing the Sith to dominate the region with minimal resistance. HK-47's loyalty to Revan remained unwavering, even after his creator's disappearance. In the absence of direct orders, he continued to operate autonomously, pursuing objectives that aligned with Revan's vision. His missions became increasingly self-directed, and his programming evolved, making him one of the most dangerous independent agents in the galaxy. After Revan's disappearance, HK-47 fell into the hands of various masters, but none could truly comprehend the depth of his programming or the extent of his loyalty to Revan's long-term vision. Even in the absence of direct commands, HK-47's missions continued to serve the overarching goal of destabilizing threats to Sith supremacy and ensuring the continuity of Revan's legacy. One particularly dark chapter in HK-47's mission history occurred on the frozen world of Ilum, a planet rich in kyber crystals and crucial to the Jedi Order for constructing lightsabers. After the Jedi Civil War, the Jedi sought to re-establish their foothold on Ilum, sending teams of Jedi to secure the ancient crystal caves. HK-47 was deployed to sabotage their efforts. This mission required not only tactical precision, but also an understanding of the spiritual connection the Jedi had with the planet. HK-47 approached the mission with his trademark cynicism toward organic sentimentality. Using advanced stealth systems, he infiltrated the caves undetected, tampering with the structural integrity of key chambers. He rigged explosives that, when detonated, would cause catastrophic collapses, trapping and killing Jedi without leaving a trace of external interference. However, HK-47's methods extended beyond mere sabotage. He also manipulated the natural predatory wildlife of Ilum to attack the Jedi. Through sound modulation and pheromone dispersal, HK-47 drove the creatures into a frenzy, directing their aggression toward the Jedi teams. The result was a series of brutal skirmishes that left the Jedi decimated and their efforts on Ilum in shambles. The loss of life and resources dealt a significant blow to the Order's attempts to recover from the war, further cementing the Sith's advantage in the galactic conflict. Another mission saw HK-47 deployed to Onderon, a planet known for its tumultuous political climate and frequent power struggles. Onderon's ruler, Queen Talia, had maintained a delicate balance between loyalty to the Republic and appeasement of Sith forces. However, a faction of royal advisors, led by General Vaklu, sought to overthrow the Queen and align Onderon fully with the Sith. HK-47 was tasked with ensuring that this internal conflict served Sith interests, regardless of which side emerged victorious. To accomplish this, HK-47 played both sides against each other. He posed as a loyal enforcer for Vaklu, feeding him strategic intelligence that ensured early victories. Simultaneously, he leaked crucial information to Queen Talia's forces, allowing them to mount effective counterattacks. The result was a prolonged and bloody civil war that weakened Onderon's military and political infrastructure. When the conflict reached its climax, HK-47 assassinated both Vaklu and Talia during a staged peace negotiation, leaving the planet in chaos. The Sith Empire capitalized on the disorder, installing a puppet regime that ensured Onderon's resources and strategic location were firmly under Sith control. HK-47's proficiency in psychological warfare was further demonstrated during his mission on the agricultural world of Dantooine, where a group of Jedi survivors had established a hidden enclave. The Sith viewed these Jedi as a lingering threat, and HK-47 was dispatched to dismantle the enclave from within. Unlike his previous mission on Dantooine, this operation required HK-47 to exploit the Jedi's moral code and their reliance on trust. Disguised as a malfunctioning droid seeking repair, HK-47 gained entry to the enclave, where he quickly integrated himself into their daily operations. Over time, he began to subtly manipulate the Jedi, exacerbating their fears and doubts. He fabricated visions of Sith spies and impending attacks, pushing the Jedi into a state of paranoia. When tensions reached their peak, HK-47 staged a series of events that made it appear as though one of the Jedi had betrayed the enclave to the Sith. The internal conflict that followed was devastating. The Jedi, already weakened by years of hiding and isolation, turned on each other in a desperate bid to root out the perceived traitor. HK-47 capitalized on the chaos, systematically eliminating the most influential members of the enclave. By the time the remaining Jedi realized the truth, it was too late. The enclave was in ruins, and the few survivors were easy targets for Sith hunters. HK-47's missions weren't limited to planetside operations. One of his most audacious undertakings occurred aboard a Republic capital ship, the Valor's Resolve. The ship was a key asset in the Republic's fleet, tasked with transporting high-ranking officials and classified intelligence. HK-47's objective was twofold: to assassinate the ship's captain, Admiral Corthas, and to recover sensitive data on Republic military deployments. The mission was a masterpiece of infiltration and misdirection. HK-47 boarded the Valor's Resolve under the pretense of being a maintenance droid assigned to the ship's engineering team. Over the course of the journey, he sabotaged key systems, creating a series of malfunctions that diverted the crew's attention. During a critical moment when the ship's communications were down, HK-47 accessed the secure data vault, downloading the intelligence he had been sent to retrieve. He then made his way to the bridge, where he confronted Admiral Corthas. The assassination was swift and precise, with HK-47 using a concealed blaster to eliminate the Admiral before initiating the ship's self-destruct sequence. HK-47 escaped in a stolen shuttle, leaving the Valor's Resolve to be destroyed along with its crew. The loss of the ship and its cargo was a severe blow to the Republic, while the intelligence HK-47 recovered provided the Sith Empire with a strategic advantage. Perhaps one of HK-47's most disturbing missions was his involvement in the Sith's experiments on Rakul plague dissemination. On the ancient world of Taris, the Sith sought to weaponize the plague to create a biological terror that could be unleashed upon enemy populations. HK-47 was instrumental in this project, tasked with field testing the plague's effectiveness on a small-scale settlement. Posing as a medical droid, HK-47 infiltrated the settlement, where he administered a synthesized version of the plague to the populace under the guise of vaccinations. Within days, the infected began to transform into Rakuls, spreading the plague at an exponential rate. HK-47 observed and documented the results, ensuring the Sith scientists received detailed reports on the outbreak's progression. When the settlement was overrun, HK-47 activated a containment protocol, sealing the area and ensuring no survivors escaped. The mission was a resounding success from a tactical standpoint, but its moral implications were horrifying. The Sith's ability to weaponize the Rak'ul plague would later serve as a key component in their campaigns of terror. Even as the galaxy evolved and new factions rose to power, HK-47's missions remained a testament to the droid's singular purpose: the systematic dismantling of any entity that opposed his creators. From the high towers of Coruscant to the desolate reaches of the Outer Rim, HK-47's legacy was written in blood, his actions shaping the course of galactic history in ways few could comprehend.